Hello everyone and welcome back to more Seduce Me 2, the Demon War, back at it again with that Seduce Me game. Haha, okay, anyways, whatever, you expected it because we are not done any of the guys. Oh, well, we're not done, like, majority of the guys. We only done like 2 guys, so obviously we have like 4 more characters to go. So yeah, we back again. And this time we are going to start on Sam's route this time since we have just finished James's route in the last episode. Concluding what exactly? Oh yeah, so basically we fought the angel. Diana took one for the team and with the effort of Diana and James, we both managed to defeat the angel and to break James's destiny out from the control of the stone destiny. So yeah, so he's free, everyone's happy to go home and shit like that. Like Hannah's free from the demon lord's curse. Diana got herself healed and thankfully by Zero, and she didn't end up dying, which is great. And then yeah, went back, celebrated, and then in conclusion of James's route, we just basically, yeah, we just went on our way. He was like the CEO of the Anderson's Toys Company, super busy, and then what else? I don't know what Hannah did. But anyways, we had a happy married life together in which afterwards we wake up in bed. It's lazy Sunday or something like that. I don't even know, or maybe it's a lazy weekday. I'm not too sure. And then when Hannah thought that James had some work to go to or some work to do or something like that, he was like, no, I took a week off and we can just go anywhere we want. And it's like, yay, vacation. So yeah, so anyways, that's what ended up happening. And then so yeah, that's in conclusion of James's route, and we went back, got all the other answers and stuff like that. So anyways, moving on to Sam's route. So the beginning, I guess, same thing as I've done with Eric's and James's route. So Sam's beginning portion, I will not include because I already did it in the demo route, and the demo basically, that good portion is it's gonna be the same as if I'm going to do it in the real game here. So yeah, basically what happened is that we get the beginning flashbacks. Usually how with Eric was the lullaby and the spirit orb, and then James was like the stone destiny shit. We get with Sam is the bits and parts of Diana and her rebel leaders just kind of discussing about their plans and their tactics on whether or not to go in and like corner the demon, or to go in and attack the demon lord at that instance because they had him cornered, and whether it's like they're debating whether it's too risky or if it's too rushed, or if we just get on in there and just do it because they got him in a good spot. So yeah, that was it. And then it goes back to us in the human world where we are planning Sam's and our wedding. So basically, it's all the guys, all the brothers are there just to help us and to discuss what it is that we want in terms of like decor and like invitations, etc., etc. So Sam is having a really hard time with that because he's just not patient with it. But yeah, he's trying his best. Anyways, whatever. So yeah, and then I think in the middle of it, we get a phone call from our friends. So it was Naomi and Suzu, and they're just talking about catching up and shit. Just be like, oh yeah, like Suzu totally got laid and shit, and like yeah, it's all that shit. So we were having like girly talk times, and then when we were coming back from that, because we excused ourselves in the phone call, we overhear a argument between the brothers, and we obviously eavesdropped on them and found out that Sam wanted to do a traditional like demon wedding kind of thing, in which what entails is that he would bind our soul to his, and in doing so, that would mean like, I don't know, that I forgot what it would entail. It would mean that like whenever he would feel the need to get energy or something from us, then we have no resistance against him or some shit like that. I don't even know. But yeah, anyways, yeah, that's what it is. And then all the guys are just like, no, I don't think it's a good idea because number one, she's human. Number two, it's really hard to get the stuff to do this ritual, to do this like this type of wedding kind of thing. And then I don't know, Eric and I don't even know. Some of the guys are just like, do you even know if she wants that or some shit like that? Because of what entails with the whole like if you bind her soul with hers and she binds her soul with yours kind of thing. So Sam was getting really like adamant on it. Like he really wants to do it. He even would go in great lengths to go to like the black market to try to find the items, which everyone thought he was fucking crazy to do that because angels would possibly like find them or figure or, like like discover him or some shit like that. And yeah, so basically there's a disagreement. We kind of walked in casually after Damien was like, "Oh, she's coming back." So we walked in casually, trying to like be like, "Oh, we didn't hear anything." So yeah, Sam storms out, tries to cool his head, and then obviously we couldn't lie against Damien's mind reading power, so we're like, yeah, we heard the whole thing, and then the guys explained to us what it is that the demon wedding ritual thing was to us, and we're like, oh, okay, whatever. So we'll just have to talk to it with Sam and see, what he thinks. So what we think. So yeah, that's it. We end the night. We end the night with the guys going home, and then stopping preparations there because it's a little everyone's tired kind of thing. So we did that, and then I think the next day we went to go visit Hannah's grandfather's grave, I think, and that's where Sam was like asking him permission to marry Hannah, and then there's that and then what else happened? We came back, we worked on the wedding stuff more, and then I think we brought it up to Sam. We actually asked him straight up what was bothering him, and then that kind of left it at that. And then we worked through the night, and then we were like, oh, let's just like help Sam relax and give him some sexy time, or not. Maybe we should save it for the honeymoon. But I was like, fuck it, let's just fuck. And then that's what ended up happening. And then I think it goes on towards the wedding day, and then I think Sam's route was where we actually made it to our grandfather's like grave in the cemetery, and then that's where we get ourselves sucked into the abyssal plains, and that's it. So yeah, I'm going to skip all that. I'm going to go up to the point where the boys drop in, and then yeah, we'll pick it up from there. So yeah, basically all my choices are going to be the same. I don't think I had to mention that, but yeah, all my choices are going to be the same as I did in the demo play. So yeah, let's go.
You do know this is Sam's route, right? The brute middle brother? The asshat who stole your first kiss when you first met the guys?
Hey, you're making it sound as if like I don't really love him and that's why I'm doing his route. What the hell is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Like, he's like a diamond in the rough, so Yeah, I know. No, I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, awesome! All right then. I mean, I like Sam's story the best, but that's because he goes through a lot and goes through even more in this story.
Oh, shit. Shit. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. I totally forgot to mention to you guys that we had a nightmare that concerns it that happened in the beginning portions. Okay, so we had a nightmare and we were in the pits of hell, fire. No, not the pits of hell, but we were surrounded by fire that might as well just be the pits of hell. But anyways, what ended up happening was that we were in that place. We had no idea what's going on. We hear the demon lord's voice, and then suddenly we get ourselves stabbed, and we're like, "What the fuck?" So we get ourselves stabbed. We are dying in our dream. Well, Hannah doesn't know that it's a dream yet. So we are dying, and then we hear Sam rushing over, and then we're dying in his arms, and then yeah, it's all very dramatic, and then. Yeah, as we took our last breath, we woke up, and that was it. And then we were like, "Oh my god, that has to be like a foreshadowing kind of thing." So yeah, maybe. Oh my gosh.
Anyway, I have one last question
for
you.
Anyways, I'm gonna skip on ahead and continue on with the story. Alright, we made it! We are here, we are here, second attempt failed, and then the guys dropped in along with their wives, and yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so yeah, I skipped all ahead where all the guys catch their wives, and then it comes to Sam. So yeah, I watched the boys and the girls finally planted themselves on the ground, and before looking around, what the fuck? Oh my gosh, I screwed that up immediately. Sorry. I watched as the boys and the girls finally planted themselves on the ground before looking around. As Sam spotted me, however, his eyes widened in both surprise and anger. Why? Why are you angry with me? His gaze pinned itself to Diana. Okay, cool. Who still stood protectively in front of me, and his eyes instantly became painted over in an almost harsh gold color. Hey, now, you weren't the only one who was angry at Diana the first time they just came in here. Come on, guys.
You're fucking dead!
Sam! Okay, so James was more passive aggressive. Sam was just outright just, I'm gonna kill you. Sam! With a blink, Sam and Diana vanished and reappeared against the wall behind me. As I turned to see what was happening, I gasped at the sight. Sam was pinning Diana to the stone wall, crushing her neck and holding her high enough to that her feet was dangling above the floor. Sam, hey, hello, you can't just do this. You have to like talk it out first. Oh my God, homegirl, I'm coming. Don't worry.
I warned you, bitch! I will tear you to shreds!
Sam, please, God damn it, Sam. Sam! Sam, god damn it. Before I could move, however, the guard jabbed the blunt end of his spear into one of Sam's knee, causing him to release Diana and buckle to his knees.
You mangy dog!
What a mess this is. The guard quickly twirled his spear around and thrust it forward to skewer Sam, but missed as Sam fell back and laid himself across the ground, glaring up at his attacker. Filled with an almost terrifying rage, the guard stepped forward and went for another stab at Sam. Hey, no violent, no fighting. Fortunately, Sam pushed the weapon away from him and directed it to the side, causing the blade to clang against the ground. The guard quickly pulled back and thrust his spear forward again, but hit the floor again as Sam turned his body to the side. Guys, stop it. We're not trying to make Sam kebabs right now, and we're not trying to kill no one here. Can't you guys just talk? However, the guard wouldn't let Sam get up as he quickly continued to pull back and thrust his spear forward at Sam over and over, practically trapping him against the ground. I wanted to step in, but was too afraid of the blinding speed at which the guard was jamming his spear at Sam. I didn't want to provoke him to stab me in a blind adrenaline rush. Right, true. I looked at Diana, seeing her coughing and holding her neck while gasping for air. Her hand was glowing a soft purple tint as if she was healing her neck from Sam's attack. Oh my God, I am so sorry. Everyone else, however, had backed up away from the fighting pair, not wanting to become collateral damage for either of their attacks, or in friendly fire. As Sam sat up, the guard retaliated with a lightning-fast response and kicked Sam back down, slamming the bottom of his foot into Sam's face to do so. Oh God. However, before the guard could slam his spear down on his target, Sam rolled out of the way and got up on his hands in a spinning handstand. I had never seen a fight like this, even with Malix, but Sam was still undoubtedly trained in combat even when he didn't have the upper hand. Plus, he was in the police force, so like, I don't know. Sam flipped onto his feet and faced off against the guard in a martial arts defense stance before a sudden barrage of spear thrusts forced Sam to duck, lean, and dodge away from the guard. Unrelenting, the guard thrust his spear as fast as machine guns shot towards Sam, no longer looking to aim precisely but hoping to land at least once. Guys. At one particularly hard thrust, the guard leaned his body into the attack, but only managed to miss Sam by mere centimeters as Sam tilted to the side and let the spear cross over his chest without making contact. I looked at Diana, hoping that she would call off her guard, but she continued to stare at the floor, recuperating from Sam's attack. Are you okay? But we really need to stop this. Hello? Oh my God. Don't get involved. Stop. Sam, you need to fucking stop. You're causing so much drama already, and you don't even know what's happening yet. God, stop, Sam. I had to stop this from becoming worse. Exactly. I stepped forward, not entirely getting between the two fighters, and shouted to get both of their attentions. Stop it! You stop it! Sam looked at me, suddenly obeying my voice as it rang through the room. The guard, however, leaned back for a second attack, uncaring of my command. Hey, Sarah, you ass! Stop it! Before the guard could follow through with his attack, a large snap echoed through the air, forcing everyone in the room, including me and Sam, to look over and see Diana glaring at her guard. Yay, finally, homegirl coming in.
Enough!
Yes, stop. Diana slowly straightened and pointed at the space beside her, ushering the guard to quickly run over to where she had indicated and turned back to face the rest of us. Sam looked to me with eyes full of bloodlust, begging me silently to continue the fight. No! I glared back, trying to break through his rage to get him to calm down. He relented and gritted his teeth before nodding and looking over to Diana and her guard.
I'll forgive you for now, brute.
Forgive me? What makes you think that the one who needs forgiving is me?
Well, funny story is that it's not entirely her fault that I'm here.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, she didn't do anything.
Then why is she here then?
Because your asshole father, Sam.
Sam!
It's Sam! Sam and I turned to look at James, who was incredibly furious. By the look of it, the others were as well. But you didn't do shit.
Look at her! Does she look like she's been harmed or in chains?
Yeah, true. Yeah. Sam looked at me as I met his gaze in an almost perfect sync. I was indeed fine. Dana didn't hurt me. In fact, it had been the opposite. She wanted to protect me and send me home. Yeah, exactly. The look in Sam's eyes, however, melted into one of longing and relief when he finally absorbed my appearance. It was like watching a beast instantly calm at the sight of its master. Without giving me a moment to breathe, he rushed over and wrapped me in his arms, burying his face into my shoulder. Ah, I know you were worried, but like, seriously. Don't need to kill people over it. Sam. Oh, Sam.
I'm so happy you're safe.
I know. And I'm happy that you didn't kill anyone. My heart melted as I heard him whisper in my ear. I gripped him tightly, returning the close embrace, and thankful that I could feel the one I loved once again in my arms. Sam tightened his grip on me, nuzzling into my shoulder. There. It's okay. Kiss him. Just kiss him. Yeah, it's okay. I gently moved my head and kissed over his cheek and neck, wanting to show him my affection and relief that he was in my arms again. Sam shuddered slightly at the touch of my lips and planted his own loving kiss on my neck. I fought back a moan at the rush of pleasure I felt from his lips touching my skin, managing to hide it. Not now, girl. At last, Sam and I slowly broke away from each other. Sam looked over to Diana with a softer expression, but nonetheless a serious one. What do you have to say to her, Sam?
Why is she here?
Okay. Guess not. Diana pressed her lips together. I could see a small form of hesitation in her eyes as she looked at Sam and quickly formulated her answer. Right, because he's gonna get triggered and he's gonna, like, go on a rampage again because he's gonna be like, oh my god, my asshole father, I'm gonna kill him. And no, Sam.
Ask your father.
Yep. I felt a burst of angry energy flash beside me, and her answer, which drew my attention back to Sam. His body became wrapped in a dark green aura as his eyes flashed gold once again. Sam!
What did you say?
It's your dad.
Your father brought her here and placed a curse on her. She can't leave this world until she dies, or
he dies, yeah. Another flash of energy, the aura around Sam pulsated, almost crackling like lightning around his form. Sam gritted his teeth, and I could tell rage was slowly taking over. Oh god.
I'm gonna kill that old fuck!
How did I know? Okay. Sam, you're not gonna go anywhere, okay? We're gonna do that later. Sam! We're gonna do that later. We're gonna go kill him later, but not now. We can't just go rushing in towards his castle and just do that, okay? I quickly placed my hand on his shoulder, knowing that he needed to calm down. We had a plan. He didn't need to be this angry right now. Exactly. Sam looked over at me, calming down slightly at the sight of my worried face. We're going to kill him, Sam. Calm down. It's not like we're not. So yeah. The aura around Sam slowly began to dwindle and die out as the golden glow in his eyes faded. I let out a small sigh of relief as I felt the muscles in his shoulders relax under my hand. As I looked down, Sam spoke up once again, his voice sounding drained from his sudden rage. Yeah, this is draining you. You need to chill.
You got a plan to kill him?
Yes. Sort of. Kind of.
yes, we plan to kill him in 1 week's time.
Yes. What she said.
1 week?
Oh, is this like, what's it called? Can I skip this part? Are we just gonna talk about what it is that we need to do?
Where is this number coming from, Succubus?
Yes, it is. So we're gonna skip on ahead. We're probably gonna skip up to after we settled things. And yeah, so basically, I'm gonna choose the same choice again. I'm not gonna do the sacrifice until like I probably in Diana's route. Probably, maybe. I don't know. I feel bad. I don't want to do it. I don't want to unnecessarily kill someone and then just have the events of the story just kind of play out the same kind of way. So yeah. So I'm gonna skip on ahead and then yeah. Okay. Before that though, we gotta look at my outfit. Okay, my outfit's on point. So we need time to like admire it. So yeah. Thanks, Irene. I blushed, getting used to the feel of the outfit. The corset wasn't tight, but it was still something new along with the rest of the garb. Sam looked at me up and down before glancing away, blushing a bit.
You look good.
Thanks.
Faye, Rabbit,
Okay.
you both should finish your preparations and head over to the Demon Lord's castle for the
Yes,
scout.
okay, so now we can skip on ahead. There we go, so we're all gonna head up to our room, and we're gonna go back to the ambassador's room where we had been staying in the last few days that we've been here. So yeah, the walk to our room became a silent journey. Sam and I held hands, but for some reason there were no words to say between us. This entire situation sat in my mind and festered, plaguing my thoughts and causing me to remain speechless. Ugh. All this seemed so unreal and hard to imagine, let alone believe. How was this possible? How is it possible that I'm in the abyssal plains and everyone else is here and we are just having the time of our lives? I felt Sam gently squeeze my hand, causing me to look over at him. Was he feeling my anxiousness somehow? Maybe.
Hey, you sure you're all right?
Oh, we're gonna have to answer truthfully here this time. I stared at him a bit longer before replying. Yes, this is like what happened with James. So instead of saying yes, we're gonna say no. I wasn't alright. All this was a muddled mess, and I couldn't help but worry. It had to have been obvious anyway for Sam to notice and ask. Yes. Sam frowned a bit and released my hand to wrap his arm around my shoulders. Aw.
We'll get back.
I know. Will we? Of course you will. God. I couldn't deny the doubt that entered my mind and influenced my response, but Sam gave me a small shake, nodding.
We will.
Yeah. I eventually let out a sigh and nodded as well. He was right. I needed to shake this feeling out of my mind. I wonder what would happen this time. We had an unborn little demon spirit possessing us in Eric's route. We had angels after us in James's route. So what the hell's gonna happen in Sam's route? What is going to be haunting and possessing, or I don't even know what. Sam and I were guided through the hallways until we finally reached our room, which happened to be the ambassador room I had slept in before. It was good to know that I was going to be a place I recognized, yeah. I sat on the bed and let out a sigh, feeling the worry of the entire situation sink in and fade out of my mind. I wasn't alone at least anymore, and Sam was willing to fight for me to return home. It was unexpected, but it was amazing to have Sam here. Indeed. He'll fuck up anyone who tries to hurt me. Sam looked around the room, taking in the space.
Fancy room?
Yeah. Tell me about it. Yeah, apparently it's an open ambassador's room. They let me sleep here when I came, yeah.
That was how long ago?
I don't know, you tell me. I honestly have no idea. But even though we already know it's only been like 25 hours, was it? I don't know, 5 hours. No, it was 5 hours in the real world. I mean, the human world. And then here it's like 3 days, I think it was. Like a day, maybe? Sam laughed and stuffed his hands in his pockets. What was so funny? He's gonna let us know.
Oh, fuck. I forgot the time difference between this world and the human world.
Yeah. What? Wait, time difference? Yeah.
Yeah, time goes slower here and stuff. So, like, while you've been here a day, you've only been gone from the human world for 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I figured. Wait, huh? Yes, I already knew that. I was only gone for 4 or 5 hours? How was that possible? Then again, I was in another plane, so it was somewhat understandable. My brain just couldn't wrap around it, so I held my head staring at the floor in shock. She was like, God damn. Trippin'. Sam laughed again and walked over to me, sitting by my side before he wrapped an arm around my shoulders in comfort.
At least we found you. If it weren't for Damien and Twyla, it would have taken us longer.
Twyla, that's how you pronounce it, gosh. I nodded, relieved regardless of how I was found. While I couldn't get back, there was a beacon of hope now, which replaced my previous worry and concern. Exactly. You're all here as one big happy family now. I leaned my head onto Sam's shoulder, feeling exhaustion hit me like a wave, but I didn't want to sleep just yet. I was with Sam, so I wished to stay up just a bit longer and be awake with him. Because who knows what's gonna come after us in our sleep? Banshees? Demons of other kinds? Devils? Oh my god. Sam?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what to say. I just wanted to be awake a while longer. I looked up at him as he turned his head to look down at me, patiently waiting for me to ask whatever he assumed I was going to ask. Help me stay awake. Sorry, it's nothing. Help me stay awake. I want to be with you. Help me stay awake. If I wanted to stay awake longer, then Sam needed to help me do that. Sam looked down at me and turned our bodies gently to face one another.
What do you want me to do?
Huh. Let's play Yahtzee. Anything. I didn't want our reunion to end for the day and with us going to bed. A kiss, a hug, a conversation, anything was acceptable as long as I got to be awake that much longer. Are we gonna choose? Oh no. Nah. He's gonna choose for me. Sam gently lifted my chin and lowered his head to kiss me, allowing me the choice to take his lips with mine, but by stopping a mere centimeter away. I took it and melted into the kiss, wrapping my arms around him. Yeah. Are we gonna do some sexy time? Like really? Like now? My head and my heart became full of Sam, feeling his heartbeat against my chest, tasting his lips against my own. Memories flooded back of us holding one another, and I began to mentally thank God for letting us be together again. Sam wrapped his arms around my waist, pulling me close but not taking us any further. The kiss was slow, intimate, and romantic in every form. That was yet another thing I loved about Sam. He knew when to take things slow with me and knew how not to get I knew when not to get deeper than that. Okay, so we're not gonna do it. Good. Because I don't think it's a very appropriate time. He respected me, loved me, and wanted to protect me with his entire being. I was blessed to have him as mine and mine alone. As we pulled away at last, Sam let a smug grin paint his face.
Well, I guess one good thing came out of this. I get to kick my old man's ass.
Yeah, okay. I knew Sam hated his father, but was it really a good thing? In retrospect, yes. Morally, it was questionable. What do you mean, morally it was questionable, man? He fucking locked you here, basically under, like, house arrest with a curse that says you can't leave here unless you die or unless he dies. So, like, I don't understand why you're not all the more, like, you know, go kill him, Sam. You really hate him, don't you? I can understand why. The smile on Sam's face slowly diminished to an angry expression, his eyes full of rage, but his mouth pressed into a fine line.
Yeah, I do.
I know, you do. Sam slowly stood back up and walked towards the fireplace, staring into it with his hands clenched into fists at his sides.
That bastard made me and my brothers miserable for years. We finally escaped. And then he grows the balls to try to steal the woman I love away from me.
Yeah, all the more reason to get angry. Sam, but don't destroy anything, please.
That bastard kills for fun. He burns kingdoms to the ground for not submitting to him, and murders hundreds just because he can. He has a fucking harem of people and replaces every one of them with prisoners of war by the handful.
Damn. Sounds like the kind of guy I don't want to get to know.
If he had gotten his hands on you, if he even touched you, I would've...
Yeah, you would've probably burned down the entire abyssal plains. Like, I'm not too surprised if you actually do that. His fist tightened at his sides. I stared wide-eyed as blood little by little began to drip through the crevices of his fingers. I stood and rushed over, laying myself across his back and pressing my forehead into the back of his neck. Sam, it's okay. It's okay. I'm sort of lucky in a way in which, you know, Dana managed to intercept it or whatever, or Sayro did, yeah.
Is it?
I looked up as Sam turned around to face me. He didn't touch me as his hands were still wounded from his tight fist, but his expression dimmed a bit to a look of sadness.
I would have never forgiven myself if you fell into his hands.
I know, but like, we didn't. It didn't happen. So I stared deep into Sam's gaze, seeing the fear behind them. I was scared as well, but thankful to be saved by Sayro and Diana. Someone above was watching over me carefully, and I thank God for that. Maybe it was Grandpa, unknowingly. I wrapped my arms around Sam's neck and leaned my head to his, pressing my forehead to his own. I'm safe now. Dana and Sayro saved me from that. Yeah, exactly.
Thank God for that.
That's my thought exactly. Sam wrapped his arms around me, his fist still closed, and pulled me to him tightly. I could see him biting his lips, almost piercing the skin, but maintaining some form of control. I frowned but allowed silence to pass between us. We'll defeat the Demon Lord and go home soon. Yeah, exactly. We'll do it. Sam nodded against my forehead, remaining quiet. We had to let this pass. We had to move on and mentally prepare ourselves for the war. Sam would get his anger quelled, and we would be able to return home at last. We had to. Exactly. We had to. We're not in hell are gonna stay here. Sam and I eventually pulled away from each other, locking our gazes lovingly.
Come on. We can't stay up all night.
True. Okay. I know. Sam lifted his hand, which was now free of wounds and blood, and guided me to bed, crawling in after I settled in between the sheets. Sam and I embraced lovingly and let the darkness of the night take over, bringing us to a quiet slumber. Please let there be no, like, ghost or some shit after me. The dark of sleep was usually a friend of mine. Usually. Darkness is my old friend, only showing me nightmares on the rarest of occasions. The nightmare of my dying sent shivers down my body as I recalled it, but I knew that it was only a dream. Are we gonna have another then? Are we just gonna have nightmares plaguing our dreams then? Kind of like we have like part 2 of us getting stabbed or some shit? I don't even know. Would I have one like that again? I hope not. Well, don't speak so soon. Would I have no choice in the matter if another came? That was another story, yes. You spoke too soon, girl. I opened my eyes to find myself in the mouth of a cave that descended beneath the earth. Behind and above me was a bright light where I could see my friends and family. However, as I looked down into the darkness, I caught sight of Sam walking away further into the cave. Now, where do you think you're going, mister? Sam, where are you going? He didn't answer. Sam continued forward, losing himself in the dark. I instantly began to follow, forgetting about the light for a moment before stopping and looking back. My family had a look of despair while my friends held each other, watching me with heartbroken faces. Hey now. Hey. Was this some sort of message? Was I following Sam into a place my friends and family could not be in? Was this my future? Only one way to find out. I became torn. What was I going to do? Oh my god, don't make me choose.
You are not worthy.
Who the fuck? Oh. Once again, I am in flames. All of a sudden, the darkness became full of fire, and the bare outline of Sam flashed before burning away in the light of the flames. He couldn't even let out a scream of pain as he was instantly burned to ash. What? What is going on? Sam! Sam! God damn it.
Run! Run!
Run where? What? I went! What is going on? Dana's voice echoed through the air, but I was frozen in place, watching the flames rush to me to take me as well. If I ran back, my heart would be scarred forever with the memory of flames taking my love away. If I stayed, I would die with Sam. I stood in the middle, unsure of what to do. As the flames took me, I woke up in a hot sweat. God. God damn it. Gripping the covers, I sat up staring at the far wall before looking around. My heart was beating wildly as sweat ran down my cheeks and sides of my head. Another nightmare. Yeah, god fucking damn it. This time, however, Sam woke up with me. Oh, shit, sorry.
Whoa! Hey, what's wrong?
I dreamt that I was burnt to a crisp, along with you. I looked to Sam, seeing him not burnt or as ashes, but perfectly okay. Yeah, duh. I turned toward him and wrapped my arms around him tightly, now desperate not to let him go. Sam, despite being surprised, wrapped his arms around me and held me close. 2 nightmares, both leaving me and Sam engulfed in flames. I died in the first, he died in the second. Wait, what was I going to believe anymore? That we're both going to die. No. Sam rubbed my back gently and planted a kiss on my shoulder.
Hey, it's okay, alright? It was a stupid nightmare.
Are you sure? Are you not sure that's like, foreshadowing shit, you know? But you died.
You know I can handle anything that comes my way.
Are you sure? Could he really? He was strong and he was fast, but was he powerful enough to withstand whatever had let loose those flames to swallow him whole? You are not worthy. You are what? What? Hey? What did that voice mean? How was Sam not worthy? What was he not worthy of? There were a million questions running through my mind, and none of them could be answered, at least not at the moment. I simply rested my head on Sam's chest and let him pull us back down to the bed to sleep.
Whatever happens, I'll always be here. Alright?
Okay. I nodded and closed my eyes, praying that I would not see the nightmare again. As fate was kind once more, I slept peacefully the remainder of the night. Yes. I slowly woke up from my sleep, feeling the ache of the morning consume and rush through my body relentlessly in an attempt to keep me contained in bed. I didn't mind. I was pressed against a warm chest, one whose arms I adored to be in. The nightmare plagued my thoughts, but my heart fluttered in reality, knowing that what I was feeling in the physical world was what I was supposed to care about. Yes. I looked up at Sam's sleeping face, giggling at the sight of his messy bed hair. Sam slowly awoke from the sound of my laughter, blinking the sleep away to stare down at me.
Morning.
Morning. Goddamn morning, yeah. I smiled and kissed Sam on the lips to help rouse him, only to end up being pulled into a tight and loving embrace with my head buried in his shoulder. Hey now.
Did you sleep okay?
Yeah, I guess. The second time, yeah. Sam nodded in understanding against my shoulder as I wrapped my arms around him. I felt so warm and safe within the confines of his embrace that the thoughts of the nightmare I had vanished from my mind. It would come back, but it was gone for now. Nuzzle into his shoulder, kiss him again. I'll kiss you again. Kisses! Kisses. Okay, where the hell? Oh, okay. Kisses. I pulled back a bit and kissed Sam once again, smiling happily and running my fingers along his back. Sam gently squeezed me and kissed me back, melting into the embrace between us. And we're gonna get interrupted by a knock on the door with breakfast, right? Morning kisses with Sam felt wonderful and I didn't want to get up or pull away. I simply desired to relish in the feelings I had for Sam and let him completely take over my thoughts.
Hey,
What? Yeah?
since we're in the demon world, do you think that maybe...
Oh, are you gonna bring up the whole traditional wedding thing? Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Yeah. I opened my eyes to look over his shoulder, trying to understand what he was insinuating. When it finally came to me, I held my breath in realization. I mean, we could do it after all said and done, and we kill your father. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe the demon marriage.
You don't have to decide right now, but before we go back, maybe think about it?
Sure. Okay. I wasn't sure what to say. My mind danced across the idea of binding my soul to Sam, but at what cost? I don't know. I'll think about it. Okay. Sam nodded in understanding, kissing my shoulder. I knew it was something Sam really wanted, but was it something I was willing to go through? I don't even know. Sam gently loosened his embrace and pulled away to look at me with a tired smile.
I don't want to get up yet.
Nah, yeah, me neither. I laughed, knowing this was how Sam operated in the morning. He was definitely not a morning person, so seeing him curl up to me and ask permission to stay in bed was still an endearing sight that reminded me how much I loved him. My heart warmed as I smiled and kissed his forehead. Then we don't have to. We can sleep a little longer if we want. No, it's not gonna happen. Sam smiled and closed his eyes, pulling me against his chest with a hearty chuckle.
Good. We can go eat
Nope,
later.
we're gonna eat now. Our peace was broken, unfortunately, by the sound of knocking at our door. Sam and I let out a simultaneous groan. Our plan was ruined. Yes.
Go away!
Go away.
Sam, we brought breakfast.
He's like, no, we'll eat later. It's like, no, Sam.
Well, eat later!
See, I told you.
Are you seriously going to argue with me?
He's like, I'm coming in there, young man, whether you like it or not.
Come on, it's like 9 a.m.
Well, that's early. God. Now I was getting upset. I wanted to stay in bed, feel Sam's arms around me for a little while longer. Was that so much to ask? Screw breakfast. We have 3 more hours until noon, and we can have brunch.
Oh my god, just get up already. We're burning daylight here.
Don't sass me, Matthew. God damn, I'll decide what I want to do with my food. Sam and I whined, now irritated that our plans to sleep in became ultimately impossible. However, we both understood that today was a new day and we had to start preparing to take on the Demon Lord. Yeah, true. I slowly rose and sat up in bed, yawning as Sam begrudgingly followed suit. Alright, come in. God damn. The door opened and in poured the Incubi brothers and their wives, carrying a plate of food each. James and Iridessa held out their 2 extra plates for me and Sam.
Thanks, Dessa.
Aw.
You're welcome, Sparky.
Sparky. Thank you, James.
Of course.
Yes. Food. James and Iridessa moved away from us as we both looked down at our plates. On it were fruit slices, bread, cheese, and some form of jerky I didn't recognize. It was probably safe knowing that the others were eating it as well. Sam, however, lowered his plate to his lap and looked up at his brothers.
So, what's the plan?
Right to business. All right.
Well, we should probably take the next couple of days to train properly. Since we're in Lilith Castle, we'll have access to training equipment.
Okay. Lilith Castle? This place has a name? Yes, it does. The boys and Irene, Eric's wife, nodded in reply. Sam stuffed a stick of jerky in his mouth and began to chew on it as Damien began to explain. Okay.
The first succubus, Lilith, was exiled here after being cast out of Eden by the heavens. She became a demon and soon began to breed more incubi and succubi than the world could control.
God damn. Jesus. But yeah, I guess we're getting a little history lesson from Damien and the other guys. Even in James' route, he was the one who gave it to us personally. Okay, so right, whatever. Wait, Lilith as in Lilith from the Bible? Yeah.
Yes. During her time here, she established a kingdom with this very castle at its heart.
Damn.
It's a pretty castle indeed. I've never had the pleasure of coming here.
Meh, I'm not really a fan of it.
Yeah, it's a little too Renaissance for me. Sam swallowed the bite of jerky he had in his mouth and licked his lips, joining the conversation.
Alright, so we train until we can't anymore.
I guess.
Obviously, we'll need breaks in between, but we can't afford to let a day go by without intense training. We only have a week after all.
Yes, true. Yeah. A worry began to bubble back into my mind. Everyone was willing to step up and start training, but Eric was right. We only had a week to prepare for the demon lord. Would we be strong enough in time?
You fear too soon, child.
What the fuck? Okay, Smaug, whatever, leave me alone. Huh? I straightened up my back and looked around, hearing the voice from my dream echo through the air. Everyone else looked at me curiously, wondering why I spoke up.
Wait, what?
I didn't say what? I didn't say anything. Huh?
Did you say something?
No, I didn't. I looked around at everyone, seeing their confused faces. Did they not hear the voice? Nope, it's just you.
They cannot hear me, child.
Okay, alright. I shook my head, rubbing it gently with a nervous laugh. Sorry, I thought I missed something. The confusion in everyone's faces dissipated as everyone got back to the topic at hand, one I couldn't remember or focus on. My thoughts went back to the voice, wondering how it was speaking to me and how it knew what I was thinking. It's in your head, that's why.
I am closer than you imagine.
Okay, maybe not. Alright, where the hell are you then? What do you mean?
Be patient, child. The time for answers will come soon.
Mental conversations. Mental conversations with a voice that's like, I don't even know where it is. Whatever. I grew more and more concerned and confused. What was the spirit talking about? Oh, more spirits. Oh.
I am no mere spirit.
Not spirit. Alright. And then what are you? Yeah.
That I cannot tell you yet. When the time comes, you will know.
Okay. Alright. Okay, mysterious voice. This was mildly scary. A voice in my head was speaking to me and I could only speak back in my thoughts without anyone knowing what was going on. I looked around to see everyone still speaking to each other, but I couldn't focus on what they were saying. All I could focus on was the voice in my head.
Answers will come when the time is right. For now, I will bid you farewell.
Okay, Mufasa. Bye. Wait. Hey.
Whoa. Wait, what?
Wait, what? Oh, I was just getting lost in the conversation again. You gotta slow down, you know, you guys are going too fast. I didn't realize I spoke aloud until everyone looked to me again. I looked to Damien, wondering if he heard everything going on in my head. But he seemed just as confused, if not more so, than the others.
You alright?
Sure. Yeah. Ha. Trippin'. Tell them, let it go. I should just tell them. It's no good to hide secrets from everyone. Tell them. I sighed. They had to know what was going on, because if you're not gonna play it cool and keep this on the low profile, Hannah, like you always just kind of just speak out in the middle of nowhere, and then everyone's gonna just constantly be like, you know, suspecting you. So you might as well just tell them. You're not doing a very good job at hiding it. I sighed. They had to know what was going on. Well, I just heard this voice in my head. Yeah.
Huh?
Voices in my head.
A voice in your head? But I didn't hear any other voice but yours.
Oh, yeah, then that means it must look like I was talking to myself in my thoughts. Awkward.
Did it sound like anyone you know?
Nope. I shook my head, remembering the sound of it. It was deep and echoey, masking any relatable trace from it. For all I knew, it was some sort of illusionary creation of my own mind. Then again, if I created it, then Damien would have been able to hear it. Yes. I sighed and rubbed my head. It was some sort of deep voice telling me to be patient and not to be afraid. It wouldn't tell me its name. I became worried about everyone thinking that I was crazy. I knew I wasn't, but I definitely sounded like someone who wasn't mentally there. Sam, however, wrapped an arm around me and hugged me to his side.
Well, whoever that voice is, it's right. There's nothing to be afraid of.
I wouldn't be too sure about that just yet.
Yep. Hey, Diana. Everyone in the room turned their heads to see Diana and Cyril standing at the door. Diana stepped further into the room as Cyril stood at attention, watching her.
You 5 have been gone during the 10 years of this war. You do not seriously believe that you will be ready for this in a mere week. Do you?
We can try. Diana seemed firm and serious. I could understand why, but a part of me felt a bit angry that she shut down our pep talk. Sam glared at Diana.
And if we do?
Yeah.
Then it is a foolish mistake.
Come on, Diana. Why don't you trust us more? Why don't you believe in me?
How so?
Yes.
10 years of absence can be unkind to one's abilities.
That's true, but hey, Sam was in the police force. He had some sort of, like, you know, physical exercise going on. Like, he kept up in shape.
To be fair, it has only been 2 years for us.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Regardless, when was the last time any of you actually fought in battle?
Silence consumed the room. She was right. However, we weren't willing to give up that easily. I stood and placed my plate on the bed behind me. Why does it matter? We're going to defeat the Demon Lord either way. Yeah, for me to go back home, you know.
We will. But there is no reason to try and breed ideas of false hope that it will be easy. Too many lives have been lost in this war, with the hope that they'll all survive. It's better to be realistic.
I know where you're coming from, but like, seriously though. The tone of her voice echoed a heavy warning. No doubt she had seen hundreds of thousands of deaths in the war firsthand, but now was not the time to doubt ourselves. Sam stood up as well, standing at my side in defiance.
Fuck that! If you're right, then hope's the only thing we got.
Sero stepped up to Diana's side, giving Sam a blank stare in return for his mistress.
Hope can only take you so far. Do you truly believe it will help you defeat the Demon Lord?
Guys, why are you just being so pessimistic in the morning, man? Like, you just dragged me out of sleep when I didn't even want to, and now you're just being all Debbie Downers. Like, I just might as well just go back to sleep and we have this conversation later. I felt Sam take my hand and nod, affirming his words. I smiled and squeezed his hand, agreeing. Sarah and Diana stared at us, with Diana crossing her arms. Something was on Diana's mind as she stared at Sam, just from looking in her eyes. What was it? Yeah, why?
Can you say that with confidence?
Yes.
I can. Want me to?
Not to derail the topic, but this is a waste of time. We should be preparing for war, not bickering about if we can or not.
Yes, Eric has a point. A moment of silence passed through the room as Diana stared at Sam sternly. However, she was distracted, distant from the conversation, as if she was stalling time to have her thoughts wander. What was keeping her real attention?
Well, I'm not going to argue about this. Believe what you wish.
Exactly, just do what you want. Sam and I waited and watched as Diana lowered her arms to her sides with a sigh.
However, we do have something to discuss.
Is it about my training instructor? Is that it? Yes, it is. Okay, so we're gonna skip on ahead to that part and we're gonna choose our instructor. Okay, so we are here and we have done, let's see, one, two. So only 2 of the choices. So we chose Faye last time and we chose Shadow the first time. So all we have left is 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 choices here. So let's see. Zero, I don't need a trainer. No, I need a trainer. I for sure need a trainer. Let's go with Sergeant. Oh my god. Let's go with him. Like, if Sam is like a badass in like hand-to-hand combat, then we need to up our game too. Diana nodded. Sergeant was the military commander, and I could tell he was strong just from looking at him. He was my best bet in learning how to defend myself. With that, yes, we are gonna just skip on ahead. And yeah, we're just gonna meet him, go through our first training session, and we'll see where it goes. All right, choosing to train with the big man right here. I chose to train with Sergeant. He seemed to be skilled in combat, and he was the commander of the main army. So I trusted him to train me to be strong and dependable. I didn't want to be a silent observer in this war. I would pull my own weight. Okay, hey sir. Sergeant led me outside to the castle. Sergeant led me outside of the castle onto an empty training ground. Footprints and wear showed that the space was well used, but the only ones in the area at the moment were Sergeant and myself. Alright, cool. The air seemed fresh and the faint smell of flowers and fauna swept past my nose. However, I didn't get time to enjoy the atmosphere.
Human, I will not waste my breath hollering at you like a soldier, but I expect you to listen like one. Now stop sniffing the air and face me.
Yes, sir. Okay, add attention. I quickly nodded and turned around to face Sergeant. I pressed my arms to my side, ready and at attention for my next order. Sergeant stared hard at me, making me slightly nervous. How was he going to train me? Yeah. Sergeant began to slowly walk around my body, letting his eyes trail up and down my form in an analytical gaze. I stood still, not sure if he wanted me to follow along, and knowing he would command me to move if I needed to. Yes. He remained silent, walking in circles around me like a slowly encroaching vulture. I felt a twinge of irritation at his lack of action. How was I supposed to be training? Yeah, but like you gotta let the man decide on how to go about, training you, because he can't just, force you to do some heavyweight lifting and shit. And when you're like, you're more agile and more lithe, and you don't really have that much muscle capacity. Remain silent. What are you doing? Just chill. I don't want to make him angry. Just chill, Hannah. I had to remain calm. He was probably figuring out what I could and couldn't do based on my body type. It was a smart thing to do rather than teach me something I might not be able to do. Yes, exactly. What wasn't smart was feeling his hand push against my back and shove me forward, making me land on my hands and knees. Hey, what the hell? If you wanted me to do push-ups, I would. I looked back, suddenly angry at Sergeant. What the hell was that for? I locked eyes with Sergeant to see him crossing his arms and almost smirking down at me. What?
So you do have some rage in you. Good.
Alright! He was supposed to be like, he's like the kind of demon that would exert like roar kind of energy, kind of like what Faye said to us. Okay. So is it good to get angry then? What? Rage? Was I supposed to be angry? I quickly jumped back onto my feet and stood up, brushing myself off as I glared at Sergeant.
Rage is a form of raw energy, wild like fire and tamed with patience. If used properly, rage can be very deadly. Very few demons can harness it, but brute demons are the masters of rage.
You mean the masters of getting angry? Alright. Alright. Controlled anger. Alright. I felt a little enlightened. Rage was also a form of energy. I felt a small spark in my core, remembering how angry I was with Sergeant, and mentally noted that what I felt could be tapped into rage energy instead of just feel. What? I was with Sergeant and mentally noted with. Why can't I read? I'm like tripping over myself. Okay, let's try this again. I felt a little enlightened. Rage was also a form of energy. I felt a small spark in my core, remembering how angry I was with Sergeant, and mentally noted that what I felt could be tapped into rage energy instead of just feeling. Instead of just. Oh, so it's a sentence, not me. God damn it! Instead of just feeling like regular emotion. I don't even know. Whatever, I get the point. Sergeant cracked his neck and let out a small sigh.
However, since you're a human, there's no guarantee that you can truly use your rage in battle. This is just a test to see what you can do.
Hey man, watch me go Hulk on you. I can do this. I can turn into a Hulk if I wanted to. What if I can't harness it?
Then you're shit out of luck. I don't have the time or patience to train you like a regular soldier, human. Now is your only chance not to fuck it up.
Right, thanks for the encouraging words. I gulped silently. This was my only chance to try it. It definitely seemed like a challenge, but was I really up for it? Sergeant shook his head. Just think of the most angriest times that you've been and just do that.
Humans are really easy to read. Don't doubt yourself just yet, human. You haven't even started.
Alright, okay, so what do you want me to do? Get angry? Looking up at Sergeant, I could tell that he was being genuine. Still, I wasn't sure that I was even able to do what he expected me to do. What could rage energy do anyway? I guess I would have to wait and learn. Maybe you have superhuman strength. Like you get so angry that you just pick up buildings and you just toss them. Sergeant rolled his shoulders and held out his hand, pointing it at a training dummy that was set up in the middle of the field. As his hand hovered in the air, it began to slowly emanate a red ore. I stared wide-eyed as it began to grow in intensity.
Watch closely, human.
Okay, what are you gonna do? Shoot a laser beam out of it? Soon a black orb formed right in front of him. Soon a black orb formed right in front of his open palm, wrapped with dark red lightning that seemed to arc over its surface. The orb grew larger and larger with each second that passed. As I looked over at Sergeant, I noticed his eyes were glowing a dark gold. His expression was full of anger, but his body was opposing the emotion on his face with a calm and concentrated stance. When the orb finally reached the size of a basketball, Sergeant pulled his hand with the orb back behind his body, and then thrust it forward, releasing the orb at its target. Like a lightning bolt, the orb flew forward and slammed into the training dummy, ripping it from the rod that was holding it up. So, however, Sergeant suddenly vanished from his spot and reappeared right in front of the flying dummy. Damn, what the? Jesus Christ. With a swift kick, Sergeant sent the dummy flying towards the surrounding forest. The unfortunate dummy slammed and nearly exploded against the base of a tree, breaking apart into pieces as it landed. I was shaking just from the sight. How did he... God damn. Man, you fucked that dummy up. Shit. Sergeant landed on the ground and turned back to me, walking away from the result of his attack. He cracked his hands and rolled his head, stretching it as if he was just warming up. That was intense. That was scary. Cool. That was cool. Oh my god, that was so cool. That was awesome. Sergeant chuckled as he finally stopped walking. It was true though. He was faster than I could catch and powerful enough to practically demolish the dummy. I was curious to see what he could do when he wasn't just training or showing off. Oh no, I don't want that. Sergeant then pointed to a second dummy and ushered me forward.
Now, focus on your rage. You felt it already, but you need to rekindle it and capture it in your hand.
Oh, okay. Alright, let's try it. My hand? God. Sergeant nodded before reaching over and lifting my arm up, positioning it like how he did when he attacked the first dummy. It clicked. He wanted me to do the same thing he did. Alright. I looked at the back of my hand, suddenly nervous. Would I be able to do the same thing he did? He was already trained in this and knew what to do. I was practically jumping into this without a life jacket. My nerves began to dance around as fear shook my core. No, girl, this ain't the time to be scared. You just gotta be angry, and then control it, and then kamehameha. Even still, was rage something I really wanted to try and use? It seemed like it was some sort of volatile power, dangerous and deadly if not controlled properly. More so, if I got used to my rage, would I become dependent on it? Well, was this something I really wanted to do? Yes! Duh, I want to do this! Why are you backing? Why are you being such a little bitch for? If Sergeant believed I could control it, then I had to believe him. He was a master of that kind of power, so he would know better than me. I focused on the back of my hand, concentrated on trying to replicate Sergeant's attack. I tried imagining a black orb appearing before my palm and watching it grow, but nothing came in reality. I began to get frustrated, which means it's good. You gotta get angry.
Don't focus on the attack. Focus on your rage. Fuel it with reason and you will control it.
Okay, then get mad at the Demon Lord for putting you here in this situation. The burning flame in my gut began to flicker, reminding me of the anger I felt before. I quickly latched onto it, tightening my stomach and focused on making it burn brighter. I had to feel it somehow. Think of your fiance, think of the human, think of the Demon Lord! Just think of the Demon Lord. Just fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. I felt myself begin to think about the Demon Lord. The bastard brought me here and all for spite, and I was trapped here until we killed him. I was sick just from imagining his laughter, his dark voice in the air. The more he spoke, the more I wanted to end him with my own hands. I wanted to seal his fate myself and use my anger to show him who was stronger. I was forced to remain in this world and I couldn't do anything about it until we met face to face. I wanted to go home, but my asshole soon-to-be father-in-law trapped me here. God damn it, the more I thought of it, the more the flame within me grew. My body became warm and heat surged through my veins in response. Yeah, get mad! Get mad! Soon my vision became clouded in a ruby haze as if I was looking at the world through foggy red goggles. However, the one thing that I was able to focus on was the dummy ahead of me between my fingers, glowing in a strange black aura. Was this how brute demons saw their enemies? Yes. Ooh, cool. It's like heat vision. Sort of. The energy in my body began to slowly weave into my hand, forming a baseball-sized orb that slowly became bigger and bigger with each breath I took. I could hear Sergeant smirk behind me in pride. As the energy in the orb became almost too large to hold, I felt my body completely tense up and strange winds began to pick up around my body. I quickly brought the orb back and roughly pushed it forward towards my target.
Now run at it!
Okay! God damn. At his shout, I quickly stepped forward. I began to hyper-focus onto the dummy as my orb slammed into its torso and bent it back over its stand. I felt enraged that I wasn't able to break it off, adding to the energy burning within my body. Yes, just get mad at the everything. Just get mad at everything. The littlest thing, just get mad at it. I wanted to kick the shit out of it. I wanted to make it bust open like a piñata. If I had to do it with my own foot, then I would do it over and over until it was completely decimated like how Sergeant dealt with his own training dummy. I suddenly came face to face with it. As I rushed at it, I brought my leg back and slammed it into the dummy's head and ripping it from its torso. The head flew back a couple of feet and skidded across the ground before rolling to a stop by the foot of a tree. My fury became out of control. I found myself becoming livid at the results of my attack, causing me to pummel a flurry of punches into the remaining dummy torso, making it bounce off and slam itself into each impact. God damn. Hulk mode activated. Jesus. Hannah, okay, you need to reel it back in now. My knuckles and fingers were aching from each impact as waves of pain rushed through them. I didn't give a damn, nor could I find any reason to. My mind became lost in my rage that I continued to take it out on my non-living victim. Hey! From behind me, a pair of large arms hooked themselves up from my torso and yanked me back, locking their hands behind my head and effectively holding my flailing and twitching arms in place. Still, the blood-red tint of the world didn't dull and my anger wasn't going away. I was pretty sure that I was foaming at the mouth, but my overwhelming fury overcame all of my senses. Oh, damn.
Breathe, you little brute!
Breathe, damn it. Think zen. My instincts began to kick in, forcing me to take in hard and deep breaths. With each inhale, my body became racked with shivering lactic acid, and with each exhale, the flame within my core began to slowly die. Okay. Wow. After what seemed like minutes within Sergeant's arm lock, the red within my eyes vanished, and even the dribble around my lips seemed to have vanished, leaving me an aching mess of a being and causing me to slightly go limp in Sergeant's arms. Damn, I just took it too far.
There you go. Jeez, you've got a lot of energy for a human.
Yeah, that's what Dana already said that. I slowly looked back at Sergeant as he released me and stretched out my arms. I slowly looked back at Sergeant as he released me and stretched one of my arms up, causing my shoulder to creak and stretch out the ache within it. I felt a bit embarrassed at what I had done, but as Sergeant stretched my other arm, he laughed.
At least we can skip to teaching you how to control your rage.
Just breathe. Just calmly breathe. How do I do that? Just breathe. I felt out of breath as my body became overwhelmed with a dull ache, probably from me letting loose on the dummy. Sergeant gently tilted my head side to side to stretch my neck before running his knuckles over my back, working out the unknown knots in it.
Just breathe. When you're pissed, you take a step back and breathe. It's the same thing when using rage.
Okay, alright. It seemed so simple, but if it got me out of the state I was in, then it was good enough to agree with and nod to an understanding. Alright, so it's nothing too complicated.
Everything going fine out here?
Oh yeah, everything's great. I learned how to get angry. Sergeant and I looked over to Diana walking over to us from the castle door, crossing her arms and staring at us both.
We're good. We're just getting started.
Yep.
That's good to hear. I'm on my way to the training block now to work with the troops and just wanted to stop by.
Okay. Well, everything's going great. As Diana nodded in turn, Sergeant suddenly stepped away from me towards her.
Succubus.
What?
Doubting my skills as a leader already, Commander?
I stared wide-eyed as Diana turned her head and looked at Sergeant with a stern and almost degrading gaze. What the hell? Where did that come from? Yeah, what? Sergeant stared right back at her, but I could faintly see his hand glow a soft layer of red before he closed his eyes and let it vanish with a breath.
No, I wasn't.
What the fuck, man? What was this about?
Then what is
what?
it?
Nothing.
What? Sergeant turned back to me and crossed his arms, obviously irritated at Diana, but somehow unwilling to fight her about whatever was on his mind. As Sergeant turned away from her, Diana shook her head and started to walk away.
You forget who trained the rebellion before you came around.
Diana finally left, disappearing into the forest. Sergeant, however, maintained a stone, agitated facial expression. That was uncalled for, but it put a little perspective on things. She trained the rebellion before he came and took on the role of army commander. Yeah. Sergeant shook his head. Why?
Some training you did back then, Succubus.
Why? What happened? What? Sergeant? Sergeant lifted his head to look at me before letting out a sigh.
What?
Wanna talk about it? Are we going to continue? Are you right? Are you okay? Are you doing okay? Are you okay? He seemed a bit miffed, but the idea was crossed out of my mind when he scoffed and shook his head.
I'm fine. Let's just get back to training.
Okay. Just making sure, you know. We continued to train through the day, switching between controlling my rage and letting it loose on a training dummy or even a tree. The longer I went at it, the easier it became to control myself and come out of a frenzied state of mind. By the end of training, I was able to do Sergeant's move just without being able to knock the dummy off of his post. That was infuriating, but I had to remember that I wasn't going to master everything, nor was I strong enough to in the first place. Yeah, I was a human and not a demon after all, let alone a brute demon. So yeah, you're doing pretty good. I was learning how to better defend myself. Yes. I walked into the room and let out a sigh. Today was tough, and I could tell it was only going to get much tougher later in the week. I felt my feet slide across the floor in exhaustion, not used to the strenuous work I had to do. I sat down at the bench in front of the fireplace, staring into the flames as I let relaxation finally hit my body. The warmth of the fire gave me a dull sense of calm, causing me to sigh and lean back against the bench. Oh man, getting angry like 24/7 is just so hard, so much work. Sam, I don't know how you do it.
You have done well, child.
Oh, you're back. Alright. Hello. Huh? You again.
Fear not. I come to observe you as you observe me.
But I can't observe you because I don't know where you are, so it's one-sided. I tilted my head, confused as to what the voice meant. I looked around and scoured the room before turning my gaze back to the fire. Within it, I could barely make out the outline of eyes, which caused me to freeze in my spot. Holy shit! Okay. So what? Oh my! What the hell? Are you Smaug? Oh my god, Smaug! You're the fire?
I am a flame, but I am not the fire you gaze upon. I merely look through it to judge you, and the one named Maurice.
Oh, see, this guy is totally. Oh my god, you must be Smaug's cousin. Oh my god. He's like, I am ashes and I am flames and blah blah blah. And that little monologue he did. Hey buddy. Yo, I loved you in that movie. You're judging us? Why? For what?
That will be known soon. When the time is right, the one destined to take my power will be tested.
Okay. Alright. What? I stared into the fire, lost and confused. Why were we being judged? Was this some sort of trick by the Demon Lord? As I thought of that, the flame intensified slightly.
The Demon Lord, an evil being of this world. He is a curse plaguing this land.
Okay, so you are like a neutral third party in which, yeah, alright, okay. Alright, I'm cool with that. You hate the Demon Lord as well? I think everyone hates him. Like, I don't even know who likes him. Maybe his servants and stuff, but like, yeah.
He is not worthy of life. But I care not enough to rise from the darkness to rid the world of him myself.
Oh, then you're just fucking lazy then. God damn. You're just lazy. What do you mean?
I have been generous with you, child. You must now be patient.
Are you gonna hang up on me? Oh my god. Come on. We just got started in this conversation. Come on. Stay a little longer. Talk to me. Tell me about your life in this cave and what it is exactly that you are, even though I'm pretty sure you're Smaug. Before I could even think to protest, the eyes hidden within the flames vanished and the voice disappeared from my mind, as if it was part of a dream I had awoken from. Yeah, okay, bye. I shook my head and rubbed my head, taking it in. Some sort of spirit or guardian was watching over us. Apparently, it seemed to be strong enough to defeat the Demon Lord himself. Was it possible? Hey man, it's all the more, you know, it's a good thing for you then. Even more so, it was going to test one of us to take its power? Really? My mind instantly went to Sam. There was no reason for me to be the one to be tested, so it had to be him. How would he be tested though? I shook my head. This was too confusing to think about right now. However, as I sat back and let my mind reorganize itself, I suddenly realized something. What? Where was Sam? Sam, are you still training? Oh my god, I think he's still training. I stood and walked to the door, opening it and peeking it out into the hall. Sam was nowhere in sight. I think he's still training. What the? Sam was really late in coming back. From what we discussed, he should have been back, or at least on the way. However, the distance of their training area was not that far. Okay. I began to wander the halls, trying to find where they were. Luckily, Sam made a lot of noise.
Fuck you!
There he is. He's like his own GPS. Sam? I rushed towards the noise, stopping at an open door. Peering in, I gasped as I saw the war room in disarray as everyone seemed to hug the walls, watching the chaos that was breaking in the middle of the room. Did someone just start a fight club without me knowing it? Come on, guys. I thought we were training here, not doing this. Sam and Sarah were clashing sword to spear, with Sam's face full of rage and Sable's expression void of any emotion.
You're too slow. Faster!
Oh my god.
You want me to go faster? Fine!
Oh god. Before my eyes, Sam and Zero became barely visible shadows through the air. Their weapons clanged rapidly, almost like multiple bullets crashing at once as they arced toward one another. What is going on? Why are you not doing this outside? The Incubi and the Wise moved towards the door to join me, still watching the fight.
Sam was about to leave for the night, but then that jerk-ass Zero called him a weak coward. Well, you know how Sam is. He did actually try to walk away, but then Zero said that the war was his fault, so that got this whole shitstorm started. We've been at it ever since.
God damn it. Fucking Christ. What are you guys, 5? The hell? I looked back to Zero and Sam, still unable to make either of them out as they clashed and fought. My eyes locked on Diana, seeing her lean against the far wall with crossed arms. As I examined her, her eyes seemed to follow the fight almost masterfully. Was she able to see what the hell was happening despite her lightning speed? Why was she just watching anyway? Yeah, exactly. Why are you just watching? Sam, stop it!
Keep at it, Seto. Don't let him stop.
Oh my god, don't make me go Hulk on you guys. I will Hulk smash the both of you. What the hell? I ran over to Dana despite her not taking her eyes off the fight. Why aren't we stopping this, Dana? Dana, is this your petty way of getting back at him because he nearly choked you out? God. Wait and watch, attack Dana. I'll just wait and watch. I'm not gonna attack homegirl. Maybe she has reasons. Just watch. I still wasn't understanding why was I not getting any answer. I turned my gaze to the fight, destined to try and see what Dana wanted me to witness.
Are you that weak, Incubus? You haven't landed a blow on me once!
Maybe she's just trying to get Sam to be less rusty out of this. I don't even know.
Shut your fucking mouth!
Like father, like son!
Oh shit, that's a low blow. He's gonna get so mad. Oh man. I didn't understand why Sarah was egging him on and insulting him, but Sam seemed up for the battle regardless of the facts, using the insults as inspirational rage. However, from the faint outline of Sam that I could see, I noticed something off about him. His was surrounded by a heavy green and red mixed aura. The more I watched, the more the aura seemed to build and take shape around Sam's body. Why? I couldn't tell what it was, but it looked almost alive.
Enough!
What? At once, Sam and Sayo slid to opposite sides of the open space, panting and gasping for air. Around Sayo was a faint white light that was diminishing with each breath he took. Around Sam, however, was a clear view of a tense red and green aura. It seemed to flicker around Sam like flames, but it didn't seem to die even with the battle being over.
What the hell?
What's up, Sam? What is going on?
What is
that? What is that?
Seto.
What? Diana pushed out the wall and walked to Seiro, wrapping an arm around his and making him gasp at the gesture. He looked to her in shock as she turned to Sam with a hard gaze.
It would seem that we have much to do before the siege.
What's happening? What are you talking about? What? Diana seemed to ignore my question as she turned and began to walk towards the room's exit with Seiro in her arms. Sam, on the other hand, dropped to the floor and sat back against the wall, trying to calm down. Instinctively, I rushed over to him. Hey man, what the hell? Sam shut his eyes as he forced himself to take deep breaths. Each one seemed less labored than the last, but I could tell that he was working to calm his rage. Sam? Are you thinking happy thoughts? The aura around Sam finally seemed to die down before Sam let out a heavy sigh and pressed his head back against the wall. I could tell that exhaustion was weighing on him heavily, so I simply sat beside him waiting.
Sam, what is going on?
Yeah, man, what's happening?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sam, I think you know exactly what we're talking about.
Sam, you had a weird aura around you.
Yeah, you did.
I said I don't know!
How could you not know when it's clearly around you? Like, from emitting from your being. It's like... Sam closed his eyes and pressed his back against the wall, letting his head drop to his chest. He genuinely didn't seem to know what was going on, but I became concerned. Why was his aura so strange? Okay. My thoughts ran to the voice from the flame. Was this the start of whatever test he had in mind? Why were Diana and Sayro involved, though? Yeah, why? What the hell? Secrets! Sam finally opened his eyes and looked to me. His irises flashed gold at the sight of me, but quickly returned to emerald green as he let out a sigh. Ask if he's okay, wait patiently. You okay? Or I can wait patiently. Like, do you wanna... Okay, I'll just wait. I knew Sam well enough not to pester him and to not... I knew Sam well enough not to pester him and to let him settle down. As he stared, he reached a hand up and gently ruffled my hair.
Sorry you had to see that.
That's okay. Not like I haven't seen strange shit anyways, you know, so... I mean, strange shit always happens to me, so it should be my middle name. I shook my head and held his hand, kissing his palm. As I did, Sam chuckled and stood, ushering me to stand along with him. Sam gently took my hand and walked to lead me out of the room.
Hey, hold on!
What do you mean, hold on?
Shut up, Squirt!
Squirt! What the hell?
Matthew, hey, chill!
Yeah, just chill. Just chill. I looked back to see Norin and Damien holding Matthew back from pouncing at Sam, but I continued with Sam out of the room. As we walked down the hall, I looked to Sam, seeing the exhaustion in his eyes grow heavier and heavier. He had used a lot of energy, yes. I wrapped my arm around him and guided him back to our room, sitting in bed and eventually flopping back onto it with me. As he let out a relaxed grunt, I kissed his cheek. Everything okay? Yeah, you doing okay?
Yeah. Just exhausted. Man, fuck that guy.
Yeah, man, fuck that guy. He's such a dick. I smiled and hugged him, ushering him to wrap his arms around me and kiss my forehead.
Something really has been weird, though.
What? I agree. Yeah, I've been seeing like faces in the fire, so... Both of us went silent as we became lost in thought. I knew Sam was trying to determine what happened, but I was concerned over what the voice in the flame said and how that reflected on Sam. The nightmare had made a little more sense, but why was I involved? Yeah. Maybe I'm supposed to support him somehow. Sam and I went to bed that night, both unsure of what was going on and mildly fearful of what was happening. We couldn't speak about it without knowing all the pieces. We both knew better than to take stabs in the dark. My night was uneventful, but my morning wasn't the same. Oh, what's gonna happen in the morning? Is it more training with Sergeant and us being mad and stuff and shit? I don't even know. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it here, you guys. Lots of shit happened, lots of strange secrets, and I don't even know. It's a lot to take in, so we're gonna leave this episode here, and we're gonna continue on the next episode and see what other strange shit happens to us in the very next morning. Man, this show, this whole like route should just be titled Stranger Things. God damn it. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next episode then. Bye!